Okay, shooting, lay it out for us. What kind of game are you expecting?
Yeah, well, look, I think that the Lions have multiple ways that they can win this game. Because you've got such power and agility across the park, and then the big advantage that they have is depth, both in their training squad, like what they're coming up against in training, and then obviously coming off the bench. You just have such quality there. Whereas, like, you're looking at the Aussie bench and you're going, well, that guy's uncapped, or that guy's got 5 caps, or he's only 22. So they're unproven. The For the Aussies, like, there's probably one way I can see them winning, and it's a blueprint that Joe Schmidt has gone to before. You think back to how New Zealand beat us in the quarter final. I think we were the better side leading into that, and if that game was played 10 times, I think we're winning probably 6, 7. But Joe found a way to win the one that mattered, and a key part of that was the short side attack. Not necessarily going into the middle of the park, and he allowed Ireland to tire themselves out that day by playing the multi phase. But when New Zealand were in possession, they went short side attack, kept the gain line, and really frustrated the Irish team. So it's going to start with the aerial battle, and they've a very good nine in Gordon. He's a very accurate box kicker. I think the focus for the Aussies is going to be just getting up into the air and not necessarily catching the ball, just creating breaking ball. And Joe will have prepped these guys within an inch of their lives about getting on the scraps. It'll be all about diving on the bomb, detonating it, winning possession back, and then probably going to another kick. Um, and we're going to see them kick the ball, create contestables, and then compete on the ground. And that's going to be a key area when they're defending, is like how they contest the breakdown, McRight, and they're going to be really patient on when they do move the ball. If they win the ball on the ground and they create those turnovers, then we'll see the Aussies play. Outside of that, for the first 60 minutes, it's going to be all about the aerial contest, creating, breaking ball, and then when they do win it, it'll be short side attack. And Joe's going to try and create this game going down 60 minutes into the final quarter. Can it still be within a score? And can the Lions, realize, geez, they're going just short side attack? They start to park up a bit. And then they've got like 3 game breakers in Ikitau, Suolihi, and Wright. Tom Wright is genuine world class. I don't know how he missed out on World Cup selection last time. Ikitau is quality, and Suolihi is the key guy. Can they get it to the final quarter, and maybe it's a turnover, maybe it's breaking ball, and then they start moving it to the long side where you catch
Hmm.
Tui Pilatu on his heels. Jones maybe wants to get high but gets it wrong. Suoli, he gets in possession, gets his arms free, offload, Tom Wright on a short line. That's the try. Suddenly we're, four Aussies are 4 points up with, 10 minutes to go. That's the big moment that Joe is going to try and set up in this game. And I believe that it's going to be a lot closer than what people think.
Okay. Is
Yeah,
would that be a typical thing of Joe's? Like, we will invest 60 minutes in the short side to sucker punch him.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
He knows that they've got more firepower. And it's not like he's going to go in naive and go, you know what, I'm going to put on an entertaining performance. Like, what Australia needs is to win this game. They're coming eight. They're ranked eighth in the world. Their club sides have put on a pretty poor showing
Yeah.
here. They lost the last Lions series here. They've got the World Cup coming up in 2 years. Like, they need to win one of the first 2 tests, and I'd be a big believer that if you're going to win one, it's catching the Lions on the hop in this first one.
Yeah. Well, the tour needs a first Australian win as well, I suppose. It's funny when you talk about that aerial battle. I always think, when England came to Dublin in 19, which is going back a while now, obviously, but they just blocked every Irish ball chaser in the aerial game. And obviously the escort lines are now being policed. So I'm sure Joe is kind of fallen in love with that tactic all over again.
Yeah, he'll love that rule. And Potter, he played with Leicester for a few seasons, and Jorgensen, they're both good in the air. But Sully is one of the best I've ever seen in the air. Like, he dismantled England in that
Yeah.
spring series, like whether it was off restarts or just in his kick chase. His spring and agility and ability to get up with the ball, it's the best I've ever seen.
And then a final one. I don't know to what extent the Lions feel a pressure to put on a show, but will they just kick in kind in return?
I think we'll see them kicking a huge amount in their own half. I don't think they're going to look to play there. They won't want to give Australia access. Like if you're playing around your own 10-meter line and you've got McBride sniffing around the breakdown, all it takes is one person to miss the clean out and then suddenly it's 3-0, you know. And I just don't think they'll want to give the Australians those opportunities.
Yeah.